It's the Aggies' first visit to Faurot Field since 2007, and it was a slow start for both teams. But halfway through the first quarter, the Ags get things going with a running game. They hand it off to Trey Carson. Carson actually didn't have a carry last week. Makes the most of it here, rumbles 29 yards. Aggies get on the board first. They're up 7-0. Skip to the second quarter. Mizzou forced to punt, so they kick it to Devontae Harris. He's able to make the catch, but he can't hang on to the football. Fumbles it, and the Tigers able to recover in Aggie territory. A&M's defense looked great in the first half. Thoughts of the wrecking crew, actual mentions of the wrecking crew. After the fumbled punt, James Franklin nowhere to go. He's eventually sacked, and Missouri would have to punt it away. Jay Frank, the tank, not looking like it on that play. A&M would eventually punt the ball back. So with 5:30 left in the half, Franklin throws it deep to Dorial Green Beckham. At one time, he was the top receiver in the country coming out of high school. 38-yard touchdown strike. Mizzou ties things up at 7. But the Aggies come back with an answer on their own 25-yard line. Manziel hands it to the home run guy. Brandon Williams has room to roam, goes 45 yards, and A&M in business. A few plays later, it's Johnny Manziel, being his alter ego, Johnny Football, flushed out of the pocket, throws right before he gets pummeled. A 32-yard touchdown strike to Darrell Walker, and the Aggies take a 14-7 lead to half. The 78th Iron Bowl, this one decides the SEC West. Tied at 7 in the second, A.J. McCarron connects with Kevin Norwood. A 20-yard score, Bama goes ahead by 7. 21-7 Crimson Tide lead. Auburn hands it off to Trey Mason. That's Trey with an E. He gets a TD, and it's 21-14. Same score in the third. Nick Marshall throws to the corner in double coverage, and C.J. Uzoma. And the Iron Bowl all tied up at 21. A number of fourth down stops. So in the fourth quarter, Alabama with the ball at the 1. McCarron goes for the home run ball, and athletic Amari Cooper gets under it, and no one's going to catch the sophomore. 28-21 tied, under a minute left. Coming up, here we go. Nick Marshall fakes the handoff, rolls to his left, thinks about the run, and just in time decides to throw it to Sammy Coates, the best decision of the year. 39 yards, and it's tied up with less than a minute left. Alabama switches kickers after missing 3 on the day. They go for the 57-yard field goal. It doesn't go. You can return this, and the Tigers decide to. Chris Davis Jr., no Mike Tomlin on the sideline, so he's good to roam. No flags on the field. And Nick Saban's going to regret the decision to kick the field goal instead of going to overtime, because Auburn will be going to the SEC Championship, and Nick Saban will be watching from a couch. South Carolina hosting rival Clemson tonight. At times, they thought they may go to the SEC title game. Turns out it didn't happen. Todd Boyd to Sammy Watkins. There's a reason Sammy's not a quarterback. That one picked off in a scoreless game. South Carolina gets it back, and they drive 17 plays, 80 yards, and Connor Shaw keeps it himself, heads to the corner, and he's in. Gets the pylon. Gamecocks take the lead. This was a back-and-forth game for a while, and it ends up South Carolina takes it in the second half as Jadeveon Clowney gets a sack on this play, 31-17, but they will watch next week. Back to when you had Thanksgiving leftovers. Friday, senior day at LSU. Arkansas hadn't won an SEC game, but late in the third quarter, they were in it. They faked the handoff. Brandon Allen to a wide-open receiver. Pig Sooie leads 27-21. Zach Mettenberger hit on this throw as he goes deep. Jarvis Landry hauls it in somehow, but Mettenberger's leg is badly injured. He would not return. You watch a lineman falls directly on it. It's a left knee that already had a brace. He would limp off, or actually carried off, it seems. LSU would add a field goal to make it a 3-point game. So then they bring in the freshman quarterback, Anthony Jennings. Freshman's not supposed to be able to do this, but he does. The deep ball, 49 yards, and that's the game winner. LSU escapes it home, and Arkansas winless in the SEC.